Right, let's take a look at problem number 47 on page 87 of the textbook. This is an example that deals with the empirical rule. Now remember that the empirical rule deals with frequency distributions that are symmetric, that means they're the same on both sides, and they are bell-shaped. And what we know if we look at this chart right here is that 68% of the observations will be between the mean plus or minus 1 standard deviation. 95% of the observations will lie within plus or minus 2 standard deviations of the mean, and 99.7% will lie between plus or minus 3 standard deviations of the mean. So A says, what percent of the weights will lie between this is X bar, that's the sample mean, minus 2 standard deviations, and the sample mean plus 2 standard deviations. So if we look, and we can get this just based off of this chart, and I'm going to just fill it in here. We'll do it with blue. So here's the mean minus and plus. So if we go here, 95%. So the answer to A is 95% of the weights will lie between plus or minus 2% of the standard deviation. Now let's take a look at B. B, we have to do some calculations. It says what percent of the weights will lie between the sample mean and the sample mean plus 2 standard deviations. So we're going to start with this first part, and we'll use green. So the sample mean or the mean, and then plus 2 standard deviations. So we're looking at this, which we know, we come up here, is part of this 95%. But we are not actually looking at this whole 95. We're only looking at this section here, which is half of 95. So 95 divided by 2 will give us 47.5%. So 47.5% of the weights lie between the mean and the mean plus 2 standard deviations. Then the second part of this wants us to look what percent of the weights will lie below the mean minus 2 standard deviations. So let me come here and just erase this. Let's take a look at this in a different color still. We'll do that in red. So we are going to look at below the mean minus 2 standard deviations. So we are looking here, this section here. So again, we're dealing with this 95%, but we're looking outside of it. So what's left, if we're looking towards this end, we have to do 100% minus 95, which will give us this value out here and out here. 100 minus 95 is 5%, but that's for this side and this side. We're only interested in this section here. So we are going to do, again, divide by 2. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So our answer is 2.5% of the weights will lie below this sample mean minus 2 standard deviations.